Tearaway. I just recently got the Vita, and I picked up Tearaway because it was one that I have been looking forward to since E3, and I am well worth the $20 I spent on it. Got it for $20 at GameStop during one of their December sales,
thing, yeah.
and it was great. I was so glad that I bought it because I don't think I would have it yet if it hadn't gone on sale. But overall, the game blew me away. It's a beautiful game for being what it is, being on a handheld.
It looked really good. I mean,
the aesthetics, everything is gorgeous. I love, as you're running around along the ground, like you're walking over pieces of paper and it's folding underneath your feet, and just the main character is really interesting because the story is based around main character being male or female. Mine was female. I always pick female.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Latois, and she is an envelope, and she's got like little paper legs and arms.
Are they all that way, or are they all different characters?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I
knew
they're the messengers, and the point of Latois is she's trying to get a message to the player, and that's another thing I really loved about it is it involves the player into the game. The game starts off and you tear a hole into their dimension, and it uses the front-facing camera, and it has a video of you, and it's a hole punched in the sun of their world, and you're always looking into it.
Oh, that's cool.
And so as you're playing, you're playing a Toi who is trying to get a message to you as the player, which leads to a great ending. And without any spoilers, it wasn't what I was expecting from playing through the entire thing, but it was well worth it. But yeah, it's a beautiful game, and the main character is fully customizable.
I remember you had made. I mean, you can do also. I remember seeing that.
She starts with the only thing for a Toi is she has the headband and her red hair, and you can clear her face off, and she's got like the green base for her body, her arms and legs. But other than that, you can completely customize her. You can change how many eyes she has, or no eyes, or move her face around, or do anything. And that was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
I know that it's made by the Media Molecule, who made Little Big Planet. How is it? Does it have any similarities to LBP in any way? Besides the platform, it has a platforming element, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a platforming game. Other than the fact that it is a platformer, and I'm pretty sure the male voice actor they have is the same guy that narrated
LBP.
Little Big Planet stuff. It's got the same. It's an adorable game. I loved it.
Same aesthetic, I guess.
Yeah.
Same adorable.
Yeah.
Look.
And it's one of the only games I can think of recently that made me want to come back and play it again and again and again.
Really?
Like, I was playing it, and my girlfriend had another save file on the same game, and we were fighting over the Vita because we both wanted to play it all the time. And this is the same time I had rented Killzone. So I was playing Killzone while she was playing Tearaway, and I was constantly trying to get back to playing Tearaway because it's just so much fun. It's a game that is just a lot of fun to play.
Yeah,
there's no like heavy story to like bring you down, or nothing to really think about.
Just a lighthearted.
It's lighthearted and it's fun, and I have a blast playing it. And I definitely recommend to anybody that has a Vita system. I'm gonna let you borrow it.
I want to.
It is a system seller, I think.
Really?
Yes.
It's big enough to be a system seller.
It might not. Vita. Yeah, it might not be big enough yet, and it might not be ever big enough, like media-wise.
Because that was one of the questions I was going to ask you: is do you think that Tearaway is?
I think it is an experience that gamers need to have to rejuvenate their sense of adventure or childhood. Having something to play with that's just fun. We're not killing people. We're not sitting there making decisions that are gonna change the way the game plays, or change the way the story turns out. There's no like hardcore. I don't know. It's just there's nothing really heavy about it.
It's a very casual. It's accessible to every audience.
It's accessible to everyone, and everyone can have fun with it. So if you don't have a Vita, this is one that you should buy a Vita for. You know,
save up the. You know, hopefully. It sounds like a very. I mean, people loved it. It was a huge hit critically. I mean, critics raved about it. It was just a great experience. But I knew Media Molecule, they tapped into something special with Little Big Planet. That whole kind of customized creative world, you know, and then in the second one more so create your own game modes type of thing. You know, you can have your own game modes and create it how you want. And that was for the creative people. That was great. You know, that was something. I mean, it was thousands of player created content on it.
If they ever make a sequel to this game, I hope that they somehow tie it into a Little Big Planet style world, if not Little Big Planet itself, because that would be great.
Okay. Now I have another question, because I don't know much about Tearaway. I haven't looked about. Is there any user generated content? Like
no,
there's not. Like I didn't think there was.
Not that I've seen. I mean, I played through the single player because I'm pretty sure that's all there is on there. And for me, that's enough because it is a handheld game. It's a game that I play in the car, or doing like if someone else is driving. But yeah, I mean it's a game that I play on the move and on mobile, and it's brilliant for what it is. If it was a console game, I think I would expect more from it. Because it doesn't have any real multiplayer.
But you had mentioned that it uses a camera. So do you think that it would have been able to? Do you think they would have actually been able to create that same? Well, I guess create the same feel for the game if it was a console game, not a handheld game. Is it a game that needs to be a handheld game?
Yes,
because it looks that way. It looked like it was.
It has to be a Vita game. Because it's the only game I've seen so far that utilizes every single part of the Vita. Every button you press has a function. Every touch screen, every camera, and even the motion. Since like there are sections of the game where you're tilting the Vita and you're tilting it while you're punching through the back of the screen, and then you're taking a picture and you can move it around and all that kind of stuff.
So it definitely, in order to immerse,
and those are actually parts of the gameplay. They're not little things that are fun to do on the side. Like
it's nothing gimmicky, I guess.
Yeah,
it feels like it fits in with the whole purpose of the game. That's good. That's good.
It really strengthens the fact that there is you, the player, sitting outside their world, and you're reaching into it and affecting. And helping out your little Etoile or your little dude. I never played the dude, so I don't know what his name is. But the one downside I can say.
Complaint to you.
There was maybe 2 sections of the game that were harder. They weren't really harder
because of the gameplay, or because of the game design.
Because of the level design.
Level design.
There was one section where my camera got stuck, and like I couldn't figure out how to move it, and I eventually had to just pause it, go back to my Vita screen, and then go back in. So it's just a little tiny minor bug. And then later on, in probably the second half of the game, there's a section where I personally just could not figure out because the path was so skinny, I kept falling off the edges, and that might have been just me because I'm not that skilled. And there was a whole nother path. It was just this side path that had more little pieces of confetti that I needed to pick up.
I see.
That's another big bonus to it. Is there's so many collectibles. Oh my god, the collectibles.
Well, Little Big Planet had a bunch of collectibles as well, so I mean, but there was so much stuff to collect. To help design your world and design your rocket ship.
And part of it, part of the collectibles in this game, in Tearaway, were little dudes in the world they had lost their color. And when you take a picture of them with the little camera you get in the game, you restore their color, and it saves a copy of their papercraft onto like the Tearaway. I forget what they call it, but it's a Tearaway system online, and I can go on the computer and print out those papercraft plans and populate my desk with these little dudes.
That's really cool.
And
that's a really.
I haven't done it yet because my computer's busted. But I'm wanting to do that because there's a couple characters I really love their designs, and it's just great. And it's another thing that I loved about the game that I haven't seen from many other things.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first one I've seen besides like Paper Mario.
Yeah.
That you can really create something like that. So.
Well, it sounds like it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's one that I didn't do. I didn't look up a lot. I didn't research a lot because it didn't get a lot of publicity. But I know Media Molecule. You know, I love Little Big Planet. I'm glad that a good game has come to the Vita. Another one because the Vita needs more. It needs more Vita games.
It really needs more games like Tearaway that make use of everything. It can't be a DS title.
Yeah.
You know. There's no way that it could be anything besides a Vita game. And it's making a real, it's made a real presence for itself on the system, and it's made a real presence for the system. I think
as a whole.
If more people pick this game up, more people hear about this game,
it could lead somewhere. It could help the Vita sales tremendously.
Yeah.
I'm sure because it's aimed for
anyone
and everyone.
Anyone can pick this game up and have fun with it.
It's extremely accessible, so it's a great game now. If Sony had advertised a little better, I'm sure that they could have, you know, if it was big, then they could have advertised a little better and it would have allowed for the Vita to sell more. Maybe, you know.
But to wrap it up, as far as the score goes, you know, beautiful aesthetics, wonderful, like, world design. I love the setting. I love playing through it. And I love discovering everything they had in the world. Like I said, definitely a system seller for me. If I didn't have Vita already, I would have gotten it. As far as a score, maybe 8.5 out of 10.